Hey everyone, I hope you're all feeling well. Hope you're all keeping safe and healthy. I just thought I would just share with you a couple of wee talks I feel God's put in my heart to explain about a leap of faith, as you see here. Wonder if you're maybe a bit like me and enjoy doing really scary things. Have you ever been on a roller coaster? Or have you ever been in the ghost train in Barry's? Or is there something else that you've done that has been really exciting? Probably simply because it was scary. There was fear involved. You know, as you maybe stand in line waiting for the Big Dipper or whatever it is, you know, your stomach starts to feel funny. There's butterflies floating around, and you maybe can't stop talking or giggling because your body's reacting to what it perceives as danger. Your mouth's dry. You're maybe sweating, but for some reason, despite all this, even when everything is telling you that this is not natural, or it would be much better for you and much easier just not to do it, you still want to do it. You know that it's dangerous, but you also know that it is thrilling. You know that you will have that feeling of exhilaration and adrenaline and excitement, and you'll have a great story to tell your friends at the end of it. You know, about 15 years ago, I was on a holiday in Cyprus with my family. And when we got to our room, you do, as you do, go out onto the balcony to check out the view. And in the distance, I could see this large crane thing. And it kind of swung around over the sea, and as I watched, I started to lift up this big orange red cage, and I focused in a bit, and I actually could see and realise that there was two people in this cage. And so as I continued to watch, when the cage got to as high as it could go, which was about 200 feet above the sea, one of the guys opened the gate in the cage and worked his way to the edge. And while the other guy, he was standing, he seemed to be giving instructions and pointing and telling where he should look. Then just a few seconds later, as I watched, he dived off. This guy dived off a perfectly good crane, hurtling towards the sea. So first of all, he fell. He went really, really fast, and then he started to actually slow down before he springing back up again. And then he went down again a few times, up and down at the end of this rubber cable, or this rubber rope. And it was at that moment that, against all odds, against all common sense, against all logic, I said there and then, I want to do a bungee jump. You know, I was experiencing excitement just watching, so how much more exciting was it going to be if I actually got to do it? So that was it. I was going to take that massive leap of faith. I was going to trust my life to these people who worked at this bungee site. Guys, I wonder when people tell you about Jesus and about the thrill that there is in trusting him in your life, I wonder if you ever got to the stage where you have thought to yourself, yes, that's what I need to do. But maybe fear has held you back from taking that step of faith. Have you ever felt so guilty for the wrong things you're doing, for your sin, and you realise you need forgiveness, but because of the fear of being laughed at, or the fear maybe of not being able to live the way you think you should be able to live, you have missed out on that thrill of trusting Jesus with your life. You know, the Bible helps us to trust him. It helps us to keep his promises, because he has proven in Matthew 9 and verse 6 that he can and he will forgive sin. You know, when he healed the paralysed man, as the four men lowered him down through the roof into the room where Jesus was, and Jesus looked at the man, and his obvious need was that he needed to walk. And Jesus said, "Son, your sins are forgiven," to everyone's surprise. And they were surprised because, first of all, why would he say that when this guy needed to walk? Second of all, who was he to be able to say this, to say your sins forgiven? And you know, Jesus says this here. He says, "But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." So he said to the paralysed man, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." To show that he had the power to forgive sins, to show that he was God, to give them that evidence that they needed. He showed himself to be trustworthy. He showed himself to be true. He showed himself to be someone who had authority. You know, there's so much evidence in the Bible that Jesus is trustworthy, and that you can trust him with your life. And those fears that you have of not being able to keep things up, you don't need to worry about that. You know, the next of these talks, I'm going to look into how good it is to gain knowledge and to ask questions before taking that step of faith. Join with me the next day. God bless.